How's it going? My name is Ryan Cody. I'm out here on the Grand Missouri River, and I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about Lewis and Clark. An expedition that you probably all heard of, but maybe you don't know too much about. So Meriwether Lewis and William Clark were commissioned by Thomas Jefferson in 1803 to explore the newly purchased Louisiana Purchase, which was acquired from France. Now, the purpose of this mission was based on exploration and science, but undermining principles of this exploration were considered political, as we wanted to establish connections in the area before potentially England or Spain could establish those same relations. So to start off, Corps of Exploration ran by Captain Meriwether Lewis, who was a captain in the Army at the time, and then William Clark. They also had about 30 other men who went in large boats down the Ohio River, up the Missouri River, across the Continental Divide, and all the way eventually to the Pacific Ocean. Now, they were trying to establish a northwest passage to the Pacific Ocean, and unfortunately, because of the Continental Divide, they were incapable of ever doing this, because there isn't a connecting body of water all the way across the continental United States. But many would deem their explorationary trip as very successful, and it was considered successful for multiple reasons. A few of these reasons were considered because of the great scientific discoveries they made. They discovered over 40 species of new mammals, at least to the Europeans they were discovered. The Native Americans had been hunting or just knew about these species for years. Plants, birds, fish, they were all newly discovered on this trip, as not many people had ever been this far west. The trip took almost 3 years. They spent a winter on the Pacific Ocean, near the Pacific Ocean. They established a fort once they finally went to the Pacific, and they spent the winter there. And they also established connection with Native American tribes. Some of these Native American tribes were very friendly, they were helpful. Others, not so much, but they didn't lose too many men. They did lose some men on this expedition, but it was overall pretty successful. Meriwether Lewis, explorer, soldier, was born in 1774 in Virginia. He entered the state militia, and later, after the Revolution, when an army was established, he joined the army. He quickly rose to rank as captain, and when he met Thomas Jefferson, he was asked to be his private secretary. In 1801, when Thomas Jefferson initially approached about a potential exploration west of the Mississippi, Lewis chose his old friend, William Clark, to join him on this expedition. They then made their way down the Ohio River with the Corps of Discovery to St. Louis. Lewis and Clark and the rest of their expedition began in May of 1804 from St. Louis. They traveled north up the Missouri River until their first winter, where they met the Mandans, where they also met Charbonneau, a French trader, and his wife, Sacagawea. Sacagawea then helped them to translate and interpret for the rest of their journey, and they even helped them get horses later in the expedition. Near the beginning of the journey, they endured almost every hardship imaginable. Fatigue, starvation, just to name a few. Disease. They really had a tough time. Throughout it all, Lewis kept a detailed journal that detailed some of the artifacts and stuff they ran into, such as species and interesting findings. They also brought live samples. We got a snow goose here. This is one of the species that Lewis and Clark actually discovered on this journey. This is live snow goose, dead snow goose, obviously, but it's a real one. The Corps of Discovery finally reached the Pacific coast in November of 1805. They then established Fort Clatsop in present-day Oregon, where they spent the winter. On their journey home, they sought to find possibly other routes, so Lewis and Clark split up the Corps of Discovery. They each took different routes back until the Missouri River, that is, and they each discovered things. Lewis's band had troubles with the Blackfoot Indians. In an ensuing conflict, 2 Blackfoot Indians died, and one of the Corps of Discovery was actually injured. Another corps member was injured in a hunting accident on the way back, where he was actually shot by one of his own men in a hunting expedition. The 2 bands of explorers finally met up at the Missouri River, where they then returned to St. Louis together. The entire journey was almost 8,000 miles by boat, foot, and on horseback. It established the largest exploration effort in U.S. history to that time. Lewis and Clark's journey was viewed by an exemplary success by many of that time and even today. On the return journey home, all the way to Washington, they entered many towns as heroes. People had welcoming ceremonies for them, and they were really viewed as heroes throughout. Lewis received payment for his courteous efforts as he was established as the northern governor of the Louisiana Territory short after. The expedition was a large success, and it helped establish exploration and discovery for the West, for the rest of the U.S., and helped us eventually establish states and what's now a very prosperous economy across the entire U.S. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you and hear your rolling river. I long to see your smiling valleys, where we're bound away across the wide Missouri.